Hi and welcome to another glass polish shop repair video. Today we're going to demonstrate our GP Whiz starter kit. This kit is our most cost-effective complete system. We will use the kit to remove clean or scratch damage from a glass pane in a door. As you can see, the scratches are fairly deep and very noticeable. They were caused by a blunt scraper or builder's debris being dragged across the surface. Remember, before you attempt any repair, please read the instructions supplied, and if you have any questions, contact our technical team for support. First, we attach the backing pad to the polishing machine and secure in place. We then fit the GP100 grit abrasive to the pad and push down to secure. We are using the GP100 because we have identified the scratch damage to be medium to deep damage. We turn the machine on and set the speed to 2200 RPM. We apply the pad to the glass from the center and then move to the right. We apply very little pressure, allowing the abrasive to gradually open the surface. We move the machine from right to left, overlapping until the whole surface is cloudy from the abrasive marks. No water is used in this process. As you can see, our technician is not applying much pressure. He is allowing the abrasive to do the work. If you push too hard, you will wear down the abrasive. It is important to remain patient and allow the abrasive to do its job. Applying too much pressure will give you more work at the final polish, cost more in abrasives, and most of all cause a distortion in the glass. When you feel the abrasive stops working, a little spray of water on the glass will remove residue buildup and expose the abrasive surface so it can become effective again. Looking from this angle, you can see the part of the abrasive being used. Note how the cutting action is from right to left. As you can see, the technician has stopped the machine and hit the abrasive a few times to remove any excess glass dust. This improves the cutting process by removing residue buildup. The technician is using the right hand side of the pad. He is achieving this because he is compressing the sponge of the backing pad slightly, which is naturally lifting the opposite left hand side. This improves the cutting process by reducing residue buildup. The initial stage of opening the surface is a little time consuming, but once the glass has been opened, the following abrasive process is faster and easier. When you complete the opening of the glass, the scratches become more visible and defined as they fill up with glass dust. This helps to identify the removal of the scratches. Note how the technician needs to hold the machine in order to process the left hand side of the glass. You basically have to do the opposite of what you normally do. You need to cut from left to right, moving down to up. Now the glass is fully opened, it's time to apply a new abrasive of the same grit and begin the scratch removal process. Because the glass has been opened, changing abrasive means you will now notice a much better sanding rate. We will continue using the green GP100 grade until all scratches have been removed. With the pad flat on the glass, we move from right to left, applying very little pressure. Remember, applying too much pressure when using a new abrasive will result in the abrasive wearing down too quickly and deeper abrasion marks left on the glass. We sand the glass moving from right to left, overlapping at all times. You can see the glass dust particles flying about. With this kind of dry sanding, we highly recommend using a dust mask provided or a similar one to avoid breathing it in. From this angle you can see how the abrasive passes on the surface and what kind of cloudy appearance you can expect to have. Again, please note how the technician needs to hold the machine in order to process left hand side of the glass, cutting from left to right, moving down to up. Remember to overlap your right to left and left to right passes. You should never stop at the same place, as this will cause a visual distortion once the glass has been polished back up. When you feel the abrasive has clogged up, it is time to stop the machine and hit the abrasive a few times in order to remove the excess glass dust. This improves the cutting process by removing residue buildup and exposing the abrasive surface. Another method to unclog the abrasive surface is to use small amounts of water, as demonstrated here. When you pass over the water, it moves around the glass residue and exposes the abrasive surface. This gives you more grip and prolongs the life of the abrasive. This is what the glass should look like after completing the scratch removal stage. There should be no visible scratches. The cloudiness should be uniform with no dark patches. Once scratches has been removed, we can now move down a grade from our green GP100 to our blue GP50. We will now start the pre-polishing process to remove abrasive marks caused by the GP100 disc and prepare the surface for the final polishing stage. We start the machine and apply the pad flat to the glass, as we have done in the previous stage. Due to the GP50 light grit, this abrasive will not feel like it's having much impact on the glass, but please be assured this stage is just as important. The more time we spend on this stage, the less time we will spend on the next final polishing stage. For the best results, it's best to be patient and take your time. Another point to mention is that we do apply a little more pressure when using the GP50, especially a used one. Don't forget, as we want a nice even surface, we need to make a left hand pass after every right hand pass. Be patient and take care when working on the left hand side, as it takes a little bit more time to master the technique. We need to pay extra attention to the edges, as naturally they sustain more damage and are harder to polish later. Remember to keep the pad firmly flat to the glass, allowing for a smooth abrasive process. It is important to achieve a clean cut without causing further marks. Be patient and take your time. From time to time we spray small amounts of water to unclog the abrasive. When you pass over the water, it moves around the glass residue and exposes the abrasive surface. This gives more grip and prolongs the life of the abrasive. Again, have a look at the way we sand the left edge. If you take a close look, you can see the abrasive at work. We keep the pad flat on the glass, but when you change direction on the edge, a slight angle is caused by pushing down slightly on the edge of the pad. As before, when you feel the abrasive has clogged up, it is time to stop the machine and hit the abrasive a few times in order to remove the excess glass dust. This improves the cutting process by removing residue buildup and exposing the abrasive surface. With the blue abrasive, we also need to change direction and go up and down the edge in order to even out and unify it. Sanding in the same direction and stopping in the exact same point will cause a step in the glass and an optical distortion. You can begin to see the clearer, lighter cloudiness. Make sure the entire surface has a light cloud appearance. If you have a heavier, darker cloudiness in some areas, you will need to continue the process until it's removed or improved. Continue moving over the surface from right to left and up and down, trying to unify the surface as much as you can, leaving as little abrasive marks as possible, as this will speed up the final polishing stage. As you can see from certain angles, the glass looks nearly clear. The abrasive marks are getting lighter and we are nearly ready for the final polishing stage. When you feel the abrasive has stopped working, it is time to replace it for another. It's always recommended to use a new abrasive to complete this stage, as it will help unify and smooth out any marks before polishing. Again, we apply the pad flat to the glass, but with very little pressure. We want to break down the abrasive evenly and get a clean, even surface ready for polishing. We also move slightly quicker than previously unless we have dark patches that need attention. Remember, we need to stop from time to time and check the temperature of the glass. The last thing we want is for the glass to get too hot. If the glass is hot, we simply spray some water and allow it to cool. The glass looks ready for polishing in just a few more moments. You should be able to visualize when it's ready for polishing. But if you are not sure, spending extra time will only improve the polishing stage later. Now it's time for the final polishing stage. We remove the blue abrasive disc to replace it with a felt polishing pad. We clean the glass thoroughly to remove any glass dust residue. Then we attach the black side of the felt polishing pad to the backing pad and push down to secure. Add a small amount of our GP Pro polishing compound. Spray a little water on the glass and pad. Then we apply the pad to the glass and start the machine. Spread the compound, moving rapidly and then slow down and polishing from right to left, up and down. Make sure you spread the compound over the whole working area. In our case, it's basically the whole glass. We recommend you start by polishing the edges first, as they take longer to polish. Once the edges are polished, the rest will polish away much quicker. Now you can see how we concentrate on the edge while we go left to right, as we've done in previous stages. You will notice the glass polishing up fairly quickly, but to achieve a perfect polish, more polishing is required. It is ideal to have a strong light or the sunlight to check the glass at this stage. As you can see, the glossy finish is starting to appear in just a few minutes of using GP Pro polishing compound. We need to continue polishing until all abrasion marks have been removed and the surface restored to its original state. Hold the machine as steady as possible, applying small amounts of pressure, but allow the polishing compound to do the work. There is no need to push too hard trying to speed up the process, as this will only generate too much heat. During the polishing process, you will find that the compound will dry out on the glass due to the heat caused from polishing. Stop the drill, spray with water and check the temperature of the glass. You can add more compound or apply some water to the treated area and you will find it will reactivate the compound. You can repeat the process again as many times as necessary. Please note, too much water will hinder the polishing process and make a mess. We need a small amount of water and a slurry-like paste for optimal polishing. Be patient and don't rush. This is the easiest stage of the process and you should be done soon. In order to achieve the required results, we need to spend extra time on the edges, moving from top to bottom. Don't forget, we need to keep a close eye on the glass temperature. If the glass is hot, spray it with water and check again before you continue the process. We continue polishing, and if you look closely you can slowly see the slurry paste drying up. Continue moving on the glass until the paste is lifted from the surface and the abrasive marks removed. With this close-up you can actually see the polishing pad working on the glass. Note the glass is clearing up and we are nearing the very end of the polishing process. Once polishing has complete, we spray the glass with water and clean it with the microfiber cloth supplied. You can see how hot the glass gets by noticing the steam when we spray the water on the glass. We need to clean the surface and make sure all scratches, abrasive marks or haziness have been removed. If there is any noticeable light scratches or haziness, we need to spend more time polishing. The finished repair. As you can see, all scratches have been completely removed and the glass sheen has been restored and there is no distortions at all. With this close-up you can see the quality of the repair achieved. We suggest checking the glass in a bright light to make sure you have removed all haziness. We are moving the camera around to show you the complete repair from every possible angle. All of the products seen here today are used every day professionally by our technicians worldwide, and they can be purchased at glasspolishshop.com. Thanks for watching.